that new direction. And of course, I can give some input into
Of course.
what direction you might want to go. Any other questions?
Your office, is your office located in Irondale?
In my home. And I had a question about what a business in Irondale has to do to be legitimate. You know, I have a business license that I got from the city of Birmingham that I do.
You have to have one here.
Okay, I need to know
Yeah.
that.
And you're like me, they'll call you a professional, so you get to pay double. It's $212 plus
Okay.
late fees if you went now, but it would only be would we be in the half year yet?
It's only be after July 1st, it's only half.
Okay. Well, I'll take care of that as soon as possible.
And then there's an additional fee. That covers anything up to $20,000 you make, then there's a percentage above
Right.
that goes with it.
Right.
And
Okay.
how long did you say you had been back in your own business?
Since October of 2012. September 28th, the day that will live in infamy. September 28th, 2012 was my last day at the Birmingham News. So it's October 2012. Any other questions?
Any other questions? If not, we appreciate it, Mr.
Thank
Prince.
you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
the time.
Thank you for taking the time to come
I
and
left
speak
I
with
left
us.
some business cards there. I always say take two, one to keep and one to share. So,
And I'll be in touch.
thank
Okay.
you. All right. Good evening.
So long.
Thank you.
All right, hope to
Thank
see
you.
y'all again soon.
Thank you. Next, which is not on the agenda, national sports, and I left the information in my truck. The National Sports Association, I think that Pat wanted to speak with us about. There's a new proposal that he would like to bring to us. Have you spoken with him?
And talk to Pat, and talking about Pat Lynch.
Pat Lynch, right. He called me today and he would like to submit a new proposal for the national sports. I think he has spoken with.
Is that where
Councilor
they
London.
teach people how to take care of kids when they
That-
get hurt on the
That
field?
is right, that is right.
Okay.
Is there a speakerphone on here?
Yes, it should be.
Let me see if I can.
Except there's not, just, there you go. You're on it. I'd believe it hung up and it'll be on the speaker.
I am, I'm gonna put it back on speaker. I like to let
If you just hang it up, it should go back to it.
Oh, it should.
Maybe not.
I don't wanna hang up on it. Hey, Pat. Hey, Bobby Joe. Hey, didn't know if you remember, but I'm in the city council conference room along with all the other council members. We have a finance committee meeting. And I just brought up the fact about you had a new proposal for the sports council. Correct me if I'm saying it. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have about 2 or 3 minutes to kind of explain that to us as far as what the new proposal is? If I put you on speakerphone. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm about to put you on speaker and you just start talking when you get ready, okay? All right. All right. Pat is going to give us an overall view of the new proposal. I think you guys remember.
Yeah, I think everybody remembers when Catherine made the proposal. Hold on, let me just put my glasses on here. Okay.
All right. Hey, Pat, you're on speaker, and 3 of the councilors are here: Councilor Pike, Councilor Sanderson, and myself. The mayor's here, and James Stewart, our city clerk,
Okay.
and some other people in the room.
I think if y'all remember back when Captain Walney or Captain Lemack been on, how she introduced us, that's Dr. Lemack's daughter-in-law. She made the presentation, and it was really built around the emergency action plan. And what that cost was if I remember correctly, was $21,000 a year, a total of $42,000. Subsequent to that, we have gotten a grant to do the technical work of that emergency action plan, and we don't need that, but it becomes now part of what you all would get for a much lesser price. Now, I don't have in front of me the proposal for the city of Irondale, but let me tell you what it would do is essentially all the coaches that you have in the city, we would educate them with our Prepare course, which is an 8-modular online about a 3-hour course that would educate all your coaches in things like heat illness, concussions, really how to stabilize an athlete until the first responders would get there. We're not trying to make medical professional out of your coaches, but we do want them to recognize something so an injury that is minor doesn't become major because they did the wrong thing. They either moved somebody when they didn't need to be moved, which may cause a spinal injury that's greater than what they have. So we do go through the things to make sure that the coaches understand and recognize medical situations. We also have a video available that we would make available to all the parents in the city that kind of go through about a 13, 15-minute presentation on the medical things that your coaches would be knowledgeable of. So your parents in the city would also have a little bit of information. If a child is on cold medication, for instance, that will lend themselves to be more to dehydration if something, if they were overworked in an athletic situation. And I think parents need to make sure that the coaches know what medication their children are on. So we have that video. We also do that emergency action plan where we go and evaluate all your facilities. And if you have a fence around the park, and what we do is evaluate who's going to have the key to the fence to let the first responders there. If you have a defibrillator, and we recommend defibrillators to all your parks, if someone's there who's knowledgeable how to use the defibrillator, we truly go in and evaluate every park to make sure they're safe, and we develop an emergency action plan based on the layout of the facility. Then we put signage up with all the numbers on it, and then anything particular to that park. And you go back, not to be redundant, but about the keys to the fence, that type of thing. The cost, again, it was $42,000 over 2 years. I think it's down somewhere around $5,500 or $6,000 a year for y'all, based on the number of facilities you have and the number of coaches you have. So it's way under what we were doing, and all the cities that we're doing this for is based on the number of coaches you have and the number of facilities. So the price is going to be pretty equal to every city that does this.
Pat, this is Bobby Joe. I just read an article not too long ago on AL.com that Irondale just signed off on this particular proposal last night.
They did, and they did it Monday night.
Okay.
And here's what they did, and because their budget doesn't start till October, what we've agreed to do, we would also do it for you, is that we would make our course available to your coaches. Y'all are going to start practice probably the 1st of August for your football. I worry about heat illness now. I worry about some other things that could happen in practice. We'll make the course available. I don't think you have time to mandate it. What I would suggest you do is mandate it when the budget starts. We'll educate your kids now, but if you mandate it and agree to the cost, then we'll just start that in October. But I think we should go ahead and
Okay. All right.
But Gardendale's doing that. We're making that available to their coaches now, and then they would start the process when their budget kicks in October 1st.
What about schools?
The schools, after the high schools, are mandated to take our course now.
Okay.
So if you coach in the High School Athletic Association for Alabama, you are mandated now to take our course. And that is at a cost to the coach. And that's set up by the High School Athletic Association. Steve Salvarese is the person over that. But
What the
we
high
have
school
other
do?
states that mandate it. But Alabama is absolute. You can't coach unless you take the course.
Okay.
I'm kind of sitting back and waiting for questions because I'll answer. Hopefully, if I don't have the answer, I'll get it for you.
Right. I was just pulling up that article, and yes, it's the citywide sports safety program.
But here's another thing, Bobby Joe, that we recommend, and we don't know how to control this, but I would like, utopia is for your officials who are umpiring and officiating football games take the course as well. But the problem is, I don't think they come under the city. I think y'all contract them.
They do. They come from BFOA. I used to be a part of BFOA for several years.
We're going to meet with them and try to convince them that their people need to take it.
Yeah.
And we would we would let them take the course under the city of Irondale. For instance, if they're officiating in Irondale, we'll make the course available to them.
Well, it's through that organization.
That's what we're
though.
doing at Gardendale.
It's through the BFOA. It's through that organization, though. They're the ones who assign their referees to different parks within municipalities.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't know how they
Well,
would.
our goal is to be in every park. And so,
You know, these cities could pass an ordinance to where they have to, if they come in and they umpire or referee, that they have to have the course.
yeah. The only thing I would think is if we don't get enough of people do it, when I really feel very confident we will, they could say, well, we're not coming to Irondale anymore. We're going to officiate in wherever. But I think eventually they're going to run out of places that they can go. I really think it's very important that officials. There's a couple things. Officials should never start a ball game until they feel everything is safe. And they also there'd be another person on the field that has some knowledge.
Well, Pat.
We really strongly recommend it.
Well, Pat, let me say this, and I officiated over 10 years. I just stopped in 2012. We're not allowed. They are not allowed to assist, touch, do anything to any injured player. That liability does not fall on any official. If you notice, on any game that you see, you will never see an official picking up a player if he's hurt, touching him, or anything like that. That's definitely against Alabama high school state rules. So,
But one thing they could do is, Pat, one thing they could do is they could recognize if somebody has a concussion or an injury and call the coach out there. The coach may not see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing is this return to play issue is very, very important. I mean, back in not that far back, people come out and say they got their bell rung, and 3 plays later they're back in the ball game.
I'm not gonna come out. I won't come out. I've had my bell rung, and I would not come out. I would not let anybody know that I had it rung.
Yeah, because they're worried about somebody taking the place.
That's exactly right. I would not tell them because I want to play.
Make that decision. So, that's kind of what this course is about, is to make sure they can recognize a concussion versus somebody just, maybe being a little dizzy.
And the coach can't see it from the sideline. The referee can.
Exactly. I agree with that. The other thing I forgot to mention is that we will also go to, and I don't know if y'all contract EMS or are they part of the city employees, but we will go to them, and we have a course also on how to remove shoulder pads and helmets. I think a lot of EMSs know how to take off a motorcycle helmet. Sometimes you take off a football helmet, you don't take the shoulder pads off correctly, do that as part of this cost, is that we'll go to your EMSs and try to make sure that they understand all the things that we're doing.
Well, good. Pat, I appreciate it. I think this is something that's much needed in our parks, you know, when we talk about safety. So I appreciate
If you need
you.
me to come to any meeting and go through it with everybody, I'd be glad to do that. Or if you need, and I'll get you the exact price, but I can guarantee you it's in that $6,500 or less a year.
Okay. All right. Can you?
Much cheaper than what it was before.
All right. Can you get James a proposal and he'll distribute it among the
I will get
councils,
that,
I guess, or Carolyn?
tomorrow. James, it'll be coming to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate it, Pat.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Tremendous discount from the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's more in line
Has
with
everybody
something
got a copy
else.
of the audit?
Yeah,
You ain't got one done? There's one in a box in my office.
Next, so we can go ahead and tend to business, the budget. One of the questions that I have is, I know we met last time and you said you and the mayor, y'all are almost finished looking at the budget, or what, over 50%.
We collected all the data
All the data.
from department heads.
As far as getting that budget back to us in time so we can look at it, the finance committee make a recommendation, then we'll go ahead and pass it on to the council. How soon could we get that budget?
Shooting for the.
I know you mentioned something last time.
What is it? I'll say August the 6th, that week of August in there, so probably within the next
early part of
next few
August.
weeks, yeah.
Okay. That'll give us some time to look at it, whatever. Okay. All right. Any questions on budget?
I have one that's sort of on budget, Mr. President. On the $1,000 in discretionary funds we
Yes.
have, do we need to spend them before the new fiscal year, or do they roll over?
That's the
We haven't
council's
rolled it
decision.
over.
Oh, we did?
In the old council.
Well, that was the educational ones that rolled over, you know, for
That was
the,
going
yeah.
on out there.
These are the ones that are just 1,000 each discretionary. The trip was what he's talking about.
Yeah,
rolled
that's
over,
what I
'cause,
was talking
yeah,
about.
we
They
didn't
roll over.
have these before, so.
Okay, shoot it to me once again.
Okay, the $1,000 in discretionary, like your backpack fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the $1,000 in my backpack
No, I mean,
was
you-
a donation.
I know,
from
but
the grant.
you had another 1,000
Oh, okay.
in there too, is what all those have 1,000.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying, do we have to spend it before the end of the fiscal year, or if we don't spend it or all of it, will it roll over?
Jane?
I don't think we ever decided
Wasn't-
actually.
No, we didn't, and it wasn't in council
It wasn't
procedure.
discussed, but I don't see a problem with it rolling over.
I was just wondering, because even if I had to divide it between 5 or 6 groups, I just didn't want to not use it.
We can roll it over.
Okay, so we can roll over till, and that way if there's something bigger, we'll be able to fund it.
That's right.
Because, I mean, push come to shove, at the end of your term, you only got about $3,000 or $4,000 in there.
Yeah.
So I think it.
It's just that I hadn't had any requests, I kinda wanted to save it for somebody asking for something, but if we had to spend it, then, you know, all 4 sports programs, the library, the senior center, I just didn't wanna not let it go if we couldn't roll it over.
I got you. Yeah, go ahead, Council Pike.
I'm just, I've been thinking about some things and talking to some people and getting some ideas, and I don't know, I mean, I know Irondale is not Birmingham, I know that it's, you know, we have a much smaller budget or equal budget, but seeing that we have spent a lot of time going over things and discussing and rediscussing items. I wanted to get y'all, the counselor's opinion about having a larger discretionary fund, maybe $25,000 apiece. That would be like if Craig and Terry wanted to